Toronto police are looking for a convicted sex offender tonight who has an alleged history of targeting and vulnerable and marginalized communities. The 52-year-old, who is wanted on a Canada-wide warrant, is alleged to have befriended someone and then concealed their dead body in a Riverside apartment. Our Caryn Lieberman joins us live now from the Broadview and Dundas area. Caryn, what else did police say today?
Yeah, Tracy, the allegations are disturbing, and they have members of this East End community on edge. Even more so, those who say they knew the deceased and warned them not to be so trusting of strangers. We've also learned more about the violent history of the suspect.
We believe he may be exploiting vulnerable and marginalized people in Toronto, including sex workers, underhoused persons, and members of the 2S LGBTQ+ community.
52-year-old Rejean Hermel Perron is a convicted sex offender and subject of a Canada-wide warrant since 2021. He's now also wanted for concealing a person's dead body in a Riverside apartment last month.
We believe that our deceased, being part of the 2S LGBTQ+ community, and other factors contributed to their vulnerability.
This local crossing guard knew the deceased well and had warned them about the suspect.
I've seen him in the area before, quite a few times, and he's not a nice individual at all. She was very big-hearted, but I kept telling her not to let street people in or people she didn't know.
In 2015, Perron was charged and convicted of kidnapping and sexually assaulting a sex trade worker who police say he held in his home here in the East End for 5 days before finally she was able to escape.
They said he had performed ritualistic acts on the victim.
One of the things that our outreach team sees regularly are increasing rates of violence against sex workers and an increased population of folks that are living outdoors.
Perron breached conditions of his parole, and until this most recent incident, police say there'd been no sign of him.
As a woman, I always try to not walk alone at late hours of the night. There's always a chance that there's a creeper out there.
Perron has no government ID, no bank account, and there's no way of tracing him. So police are concerned he may be using vulnerable people to sustain himself.
These people are, doing these horrendous indignities, and it seems like they have more rights than the victim, number one. And number two, they only go away for a couple of years. Meanwhile, that is a sentence for a victim.
Police say Perron may be using the alias Daniel Joseph Christie. He's 5'2", blue eyes with a thin build. Tracy, we have more information on our website, globalnews.ca, but police do reiterate no tip is too small or insignificant as they search for Perron.
The details in this case certainly very troubling. Thank you for that, Caryn.